Hello, this is. Hello, this is an Archangel. A lot of work. I have put almost 200 hours on the map. First things first, I want to show off my farm, show off all the stuff I have and what I've already done. So, let's get to it. I do apologize if everything's laggy and buffering all the time if my stream does end on its own. I do apologize. I won't get started. But first off, we got my other F-350, the dump bed, and then I also have a dump trailer to go along with it. They all hold 8,000 liters. And yeah, here's my mower and my plow. Yeah, I got some pallets, I got some bale wrap and some mineral feed because I got some animals. Here's our harvester. We've upgraded. It was a used one on the market, but they had their own chair. Yeah. There's some attachments for our tow handler. Got a little flatbed trailer in here. Here's our main barn. To keep most of our equipment. I got the road cover up there. And then we come in here. Here's our cutter and all sorts of other fun equipment. Here's the tractor I bought for spraying. Yeah, rock tractor. Here's the starter cultivator. I never got rid of it. And I've never used it too. It's always just sat there. Here's two of my tractors. Here's a 7R, a 6R. I did have a Challenger tractor, but it's at another place right now. Some other equipment and implements. Here's a weeder, a baler, roller. Yeah. Really like this tractor. Really good. It's a modern one. Right here we have our straw blower and the feeder wagon for our cows. Here's a fuel tank for our fuel in. Here's our little bee area. The forage wagon. I use that to feed the sheep and the in certain barns, in the barns that don't take bales. Here's our grain cart. It's used, or got used. I think the frames made up the other parts used. And here's our animal trailer. There's our silo with our grain trailer for when we harvest wheat. There's our bale storage. I've gotten bales for animals. Yep. There's some wood I need to look for. There's a trailer. Here's my CV International.
Give me a second, chat. I think I fucked up. I realized my headset wasn't plugged in. So, let me do a test real quick. So everything should be fine, but in here we got our used 8R, our used Cinnaboggan 340G. Here's our little production area. We got our grain mill. We're actually producing barley flour. I'm doing produce cement stuff. All of them. And bread. Because we gotta have bread. Because of bread. Here's where we actually have stuff stored. We got 8 bread pallets. We got pallets of everything here. It's crazy. There's our grass field where we made the majority of those bales. And let's go over there. But before we go over there, I gotta close this all up. Wrong truck. Here's our Case IH cedar from the shorts. I said, oh yeah, so I purposely did shorts for a while, for a little bit, to kind of tease what I've been doing on this farm from the start and kind of what I've done. There's a lot I didn't show and didn't, you know, but I've built this up from scratch and there's no cheating involved. It was crazy. Like, this is kind of the first attempt I've really done at that when it comes to farming and logging. Like, and it's crazy. We got some crops in here. We got wheat, barley, soybeans, and canola. I've gotten the soybeans and canola from contracts, and then I've gotten the wheat and barley from my own field that I've been producing, and we got a nice little stockpile for flour, so I, you know, can keep making flour and then keep making bread. We paid off our last loan. We took out a loan for our cow barn. We'll go show that later, but right now here's our first sheep barn I got. So I got this one first. This is the first sheep barn I got on this map. Right now I took six of the sheep for the new third barn. And then here's my stone and wood chip pits with the used 50G, the Deere 50G excavator used. I got a lot of equipment used, and that's kind of how I got to where I am, really. So this is, yeah, you can tell I have 4 barns. So this is for this sheep, you know. So So these 6 sheep used to be in this barn. I probably should rename them. We can actually probably do that. Yeah, let's do it. I gotta rename them. We'll just rename them one. Sheep barn 1. So this 6 was in sheep barn 1, but they were 60% reproduction, so, and also these were 60%, but now they're 80. So it was kind of more of a strategic move to put them there. But yeah, there's that sheep barn. Well, let's go to the other animal pens, and then we'll show you where we've been making most of my money. So in the future, I want to buy these 2 fields. So right here, there's 2 fields. I want to buy these. I want these 2 fields. Yeah, I want these 2 fields. It'll be a nice 3rd field, because then I'll own this, and then this. But I gotta make a whole ton of money to get this, and at some point we'll probably get this for that, because I at least want 2 grain fields, because then I can feed more into the thing without worrying about, you know, burning through all my wheat or barley. But let's go over here. So here's our cow barn. We took so the last loan I had was for this cow barn, but we paid it off with our tree farm. But yeah, here's the 3rd sheep barn. And once all our sheep barns are full, I should have about 95 sheep. Just that way they're numbered so I can understand what's going on. Huh. I don't think mine can take that, but I don't even want it because mine's better than that one. What the... Wrong page. There we go. See, now everything's... I messed up on it. I hate... Sometimes I get caught up in the menus. It happens a lot. For some reason you got spaced. Some reason somehow I double spaced that. And now... There we go. So yeah. Sheep 1, 2 is full and have sheep that are lambs still. So that's fun. But this one can accept bales, and it looks like they actually finally ate through the bale that I had, but so probably here in a little bit I'll hop in the telehandler, grab that flatbed trailer. Oh no, yeah. They'll get fed. And the cows. We make them TMR. But let's go show how I've been making money. How I can afford all this fancy stuff and pay off loans and funny stuff. And we hit a sign. There's a couple places up here I can have to show you. So here's the tree farm. It's right here. There it is. So there's the big workshop I just got. This parking spot. We gotta repair the truck soon. So in here's the two starter tractors. I use this one, the Challenger, for the wood chipper, and use this one to mainly just haul the wood chips. Yeah. Here's a pressure washer for over here. Workshop. Ah, the chainsaw. Oh yeah. Yep. That's the outdoor one. There we go. Oh yeah, our tree planter. How we plant the trees. But that's not all the equipment we have. Here's the first the first season of trees the first batch of trees we've done. I've already cut down a whole bunch of it. Here's our main machine, main action, our KCX350D excavator with a Ponzi wood harvester head. So when I first started, you cannot use this on this. I first started out with this machine thinking I can do everything with this machine. So in the start, I rented this until I could afford to buy it on my own. Once I sold enough wood to get the case excavator, I got the case excavator from selling wood with, you know. But now we own everything, including the skid steer and a stump grinder and everything we own. Here's a secondary wood chip pit, and it is bursting full of wood chips. I'm loaded on wood chips. I wood chipped a whole bunch, and I've been selling wood to. But it looks like I'm. Damn. Like it really looks like I'm starting to thin out. We're almost ready to plant again, but we also got a little burst over here. And they're not done yet. They are one more growth stage. They might maybe in the next in-game day or the next in-game month. And I'm saying that because I have two-day in-game 2-day months because I play at one times. So get fucked. But the only real work I have to do. Oh yeah, before we get to work here, let's go show you the last thing I need to show you before I can get started doing things, because I've done a lot of work, and this is basically the tour of my farm, the new farm that I started and will be streaming. Here's the little back patio. Here's the tree I decided to keep, but kind of clips it into the shop. Same with that one. I didn't want to straight get rid of it. Yeah. I also do have a fuel box on this truck. Oh yeah, in this little building there's some equipment in there. There's one of those. I have another one of those. Little Kubota loader. And then the Kubota skid steer loader. That's what I use to manage that wood chip pit up there and to load the truck when I go to load the other pit that's at the farm. So I can have the material, you get the gist. If you can connect the dots. And I own this place. Our little sawmill, we're actually not just raw selling the wood, and it's slower. It's slow. It's extremely slow. Where's the truck? Here's our sell everything point. I've also kind of made a little whatchamacallit with barricades to make it look better. There's our little stone crusher to make lime, and right now we actually have it set to selling. Stone. Yeah, we got stone. We got some lime. Got a little cool little shed right here. And then a little Kubota loader with a set of pallet forks. I think, so this one, right here, I originally had on the farm. This one started off on the farm. With me. Until I got that telehandler. But then I had that Deer 50G that I also had. That was originally for here. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let's go back to the tree farm and we'll do some work. I don't expect a long stream, but it's nice to stream after a long while of not streaming. I'll be happy with even a half-hour stream. I'm sorry for not streaming for a long while. I've been busy making money so I can fix my truck and make my life a little better. Because that's kind of what's the thing that's going on right now, is my truck's broken. My thing is broken, yeah. But anyways, we're playing video games. Let's go do some forestry work. I'm excited for the new DLCs, the Mercedes DLC and the Highlands one. More the Mercedes one because there's hook lift trucks that I want to use. I like those hook lift trucks. But I'm glad that I finally chose to stream. I got caught up in my short clips, so y'all might see a slowdown, but I do have to thank all the new subscribers. You basically doubled, like you literally doubled what I had. 21 new subscribers.